We're at breaking point now and at a big risk of our season going to tatters. But to make our job easier, or you could say harder, Bournemouth have just appointed a new manager. Hello everyone and welcome to episode 6 of season 2 of Conquering the Euro with Liverpool on Football Manager 2019. Today we play in the League Cup Quarter Final, of course trying to keep the League Cup at Anfield after winning the League Cup last year. And then we have got a big game against Champions League, well I suppose you could say 4th place, Chelsea, at home at Anfield. But as I've said earlier, we are at breaking point. I thought after last episode that potentially, going off camera might do well for us. We beat Leipzig and lost against Manchester United. Sorry, no, we didn't. We lost against United and drew against Southampton. We've had one win since then, a draw and a loss. So it's not the worst, I suppose, but first off, we played Palace, and within 8 minutes we were 1-0 down. I thought, oh, here we go again. Escaiogo scored for Palace, that's how you pronounce it, but Fabinho got a goal back pretty quickly. As you can see, we did play a lot of youngsters in that game because I thought, we've got to play some new players because the players fundamentally aren't playing very well. We went for 4-1-3-2 just to get that attacking prowess. Fabinho got a goal 11 minutes in. Then there was a dry period of the game where nothing happened, but Balotelli got the second, and Ryan Brewster, who played the whole game, one of our youngsters, has got some real potential, 19 years of age. I've tried to play him today, but he played for the under-23s earlier on in the day. But he got a late goal as well to make it 3-1. But since then, we haven't won, sorry. We got battered against PSG at the Parc des Princes, but luckily that doesn't matter because obviously we were already through by that point. And then we've just played Swansea in the Premier League, in which it was 0-0. We had really no attacking prowess. We couldn't do anything, and we didn't score. So since that Palace game, we have not scored a goal, which is really worrying. But today, we have got the League Cup Quarter Final, and then a game against Chelsea at home. We've been drawn in the Champions League knockout round against Inter Milan, which isn't the worst in the world, but certainly not the best as well. But every team in the Champions League is going to be quite a tough team to play. But for the game against Bournemouth today, Bournemouth's new manager. Let's talk about Bournemouth's new manager. Possibly the weirdest one, Unai Emery. Unai Emery, the 48-year-old, he got sacked by Arsenal after a really bad start last year, and he's now the manager of Bournemouth. I have to say, quite a coup for Bournemouth to get someone like Unai Emery, a fantastic manager. And we've all been very pally in the press conference, it seems. He's a big fan of me, and I'm a big fan of him, so that's lovely. But for today's game, we have got Hart in goal with Toure, Nia, Gomez and Moreno at the back, trying to ring the changes and try and rotate at the back. We've got Fabinho, Naby Keita and Wijnaldum in the middle with Shaqiri and Gnabry on the wings with Mario Balotelli up front. Sturridge is out of the team today, even though his injury risk is on low, because Sturridge hasn't scored a single goal last year. It's crazy to think that Sturridge was, I think Salah was in the end, but I think he was quite close to being the top scorer last year, but he just can't fight the net this time. So Balotelli plays up front. Firmino's still making his return from injury, so we're going to leave him a little bit, but I think he's on the bench, so he can potentially make his return today. But obviously, we haven't had a win for a while on video, so it would be lovely to shake it off, as it said there. But Bournemouth are in last, but when it comes to the League Cup, it really doesn't matter. But it would be great to win this competition again. Again, it doesn't really justify another season just to win the Carabao Cup, but I feel like again that could give us a bit of a push, and we're already at the quarterfinals, so it's another 4 games to win, which isn't too much for us, but that's nearly the lead took by Bournemouth there. But we have got a counter attack with Balotelli running on the ball, but Ake gets it back, but Shaqiri on the ball, will he put it back forward to Balotelli? It's actually Naby Keita who's in the box. He's beaten the players in the defence, and Naby Keita gets the early goal for us at the Vitality, which is brilliant. We're actually not at the Vitality, I remember now. We're at the Medeski Stadium, which is very odd. We're at the Medeski Stadium, which is Reading Stadium, purely because Bournemouth's stadium has been redeveloped and it's been renamed the Bournemouth Stadium. So there we go. So they're there for a few years, but not that it'll matter too much anyway. But a good early goal from Keita. I was surprised to see Balotelli having a bit of a dribble earlier, because actually he should really be not a target man. We want someone who's up there. Potentially, score and create goals. I think that's more what Balotelli will do, because his dribbling isn't the best, but he can score a good goal. It's been proven. He's our top scorer this season. Balotelli with the free kick, and it's just over the bar. Balotelli, our top goal scorer, with 8 goals so far, which isn't too bad, although I do think potentially in January we might have to go out and spend on a proven goal scorer. I know we've got Firmino, but Sturridge isn't playing well. Balotelli's inconsistent, I'd think, to say the least. And I think Mario Mandzukic is on the transfer list for about £15 million. He's 33 years old. He's a proven goal scorer. So I might go and get him in the January transfer window. Unless between now and then, Firmino comes back and really starts to shine. Because I think that's our problem. When we're struggling to score, we'll say that and we'll win both of the games today, which I'm more than happy with. I'm not complaining at all. But that'll be the way it goes today, I can guarantee. But we're 1-0 up. It could be a lot worse. Just tell the players not to get complacent, because really, Bournemouth and us are probably a class apart, because I always think in the Premier League there's two classes. You know, there's the top 6 or top 7, however you deter that one. And then there's anybody else who can always get relegated or finish as high as 7th. Or in Brighton's case last year, in 4th. But a nice ball from Fabinho there to Balotelli. Will he keep it or will he lose it again? That's a lovely ball up to Gnabry. And Gnabry's actually won that. A lovely vision from Balotelli. But Keita's back in the middle again. And it's very nearly a second goal for Keita. And Keita, very much the playmaker. In fact, very much the striker, it seems today. But could we be punished for that? Ryan Fraser into the box to Zanka. And it's just over the bar. You'll notice that Joe Hart's in the net today. I'm planning to play him in every League Cup match. And I don't think Alisson's having his best season, so why not put Joe Hart on the odd occasion? Gnabry to Balotelli, Balotelli to Fabinho. Very nearly a goal, a very good strike there for Fabinho. It had beaten Asmir Begovic, but just couldn't quite beat the post. But at the moment, we're looking very good. We're looking a lot better than we did in previous games, which is fantastic to see. We haven't made a sub yet, so we are going to make a sub fairly soon, but we'll leave it a few minutes. Just give ourselves a bit more time, and then obviously the players will be a bit fresher who come on. But obviously, demanding more is something that the players should really be doing, because we're only beating them 1-0 through. A good strike, albeit, but, you know, Bournemouth can very much come back into this game straight away. I do notice with this tactic we use that the other sides do have more possession, and that possession could have led to a goal there. But very good stop by Joe Hart and good defence to clear it. But we're going to make a few subs now. We're going to bring Henderson on for Vinaldo, who seems very tired. We're going to bring Firmino on for his return in the place of Balotelli. And we're also going to bring on Virgil van Dijk just to shore up that defence a bit and make sure we don't concede. I really hope Firmino gets a goal on his comeback after his injury. He's been out for a long while, and I just hope that gives him a bit of a buzz. If he can get a goal today, that's fantastic. And I think he'll probably start against Chelsea, unless he picks another injury, which I wouldn't be surprised with. But it looks at the moment that we're going to get our first win in a few games, and that we're going to fairly easily qualify for the semi-final of the League Cup, which is fantastic. But fair play to Bournemouth. They've played very well today. They've given us a good game, and we certainly weren't at our best. They've had a lot more shots on target than us, but it was that one chance. All that's been between us is that goal by Naby Keita. But nonetheless, it'll be us that go through. It should be. There we go. It's us that go through to the semi-final and not Bournemouth. And hopefully, even though we weren't at our best today, we can do something similar when we go back to Anfield to play Chelsea. Here we are then back at Anfield with a change of formation. We're going for 4-2-3-1 today, allowing Lallana to get in, but primarily to see how this system works to facilitate a potential new signing. Ooh! Who will obviously go in that central attacking midfield space. If you want to have a hazard a guess who that might be, leave it down in the comments. But we're only in talks with the chap. Somebody's accepted a bid of 36 million for him. He's on the transfer list. That's all I'm going to say, because he would be a brilliant signing for me. Someone that I think Liverpool have been after for a few years now. But I think if I say any more, I'll give him away. And well, it's a male. I think that's fairly obvious. But anyway, we start the game here against Chelsea. This is really annoying me now. Every game, that league table goes off. The stats thing on that side stays, but the league table goes off, which really annoys me, because I do like having the league table there just for reference, just to see how many points we're losing when we lose a game. But we can't be negative like that. But one of the best players in the Premier League puts it in, but Alisson has that one covered. Obviously back in goal today in place of Joe Hart. Made a few changes, but nothing too drastic. Alisson puts it out. Can we get a goal? It'd be lovely if we can get an early goal. Good stuff from Gnabry. Rudiger gets it out, but Balotelli intercepts. Balotelli on the wing. Can he get an assist? He can't quite get there. Blimey. Suso's playing for Chelsea, the former Liverpool player, of course. But that's poor Fabinho. Suso got that one back fairly easy. Fair enough, it might have been a tricky angle, but Morata on the ball. Can we stop it? Not quite. Jorginho with the shot. It's a bit too high. Let's tell the players to concentrate, because that was a bit sloppy from them, to say the least. But the players been a bit overwhelmed by that, but, you know, I'm happy to tell him to concentrate. So, tough luck is the polite way of saying that if they don't want to listen. But Morata on the ball, walking through to Sergei. Marcos Alonso into the box for Sergei, and it's 1-0 to Chelsea. And to be fair, they have dominated us all game so far. And I think what we have to do is play air defence and not be so risky, because I do think that it's a little bit like that. Well, as I mean, it's a little bit like they're playing it nice and a nice fluid game of football, and we're not playing it too fluid. I know that I've just said the distributor to the playmaker, but hopefully that gives us a bit more of a balanced style of football. I did have a look at Mandzukic, by the way. Mandzukic isn't the player that you are thinking of that we're going to sign. So if you put that down in the comments, I do apologise. I've burst your bubble a little bit there. Because he's, rather than 15, I think he's about 31 million. And for someone of his age who you're probably going to get, what, a year and a half out, max? I don't see the point of that investment. Whereas this chap, he's under 30. So, you know, we can get 3 or 4 years out of him. I know he's not a striker, but he can certainly help our attacking regime and see if we can bolster that a little bit. But I think a lot comes down to the fact that our main players do get injured quite often, which is really annoying, but it does happen sometimes, inevitably, and that's really poor. I don't know how it's not 2-0. Alisson, dear me, sloppy from him there. He's not playing the best so far, you know, Alisson Becker. He's had quite a few poor games. I do wonder whether he could do with a period out at the side, because he might just be a bit overwhelmed. And Joe Hart played well last time. He stopped quite a few close range shots, but if Chelsea go 2-0 up here, I'm quite worried. I mean, to be honest, losing against Chelsea is not the end of the world, because Chelsea are a team that could quite capably beat us, but it does annoy me when we lose games that we should be winning. But Suso there, very nearly making it 2-0, and we have been so sloppy so far. It is quite unbelievable. What's the analysis saying? What is the analysis saying? Yeah, work the ball into the box. I'm more than happy with that. But Chelsea have had the only real chances so far. But it might be down to this formation. We might have to go back at half time and change to a 4-3-2 on. But at the end of the day, you have to remember that we're in quite a rut at the moment in terms of our form. So we shouldn't be expected to win this game here against Chelsea. But if we do lose, then the gap can go as high as 13 points up to City at the top of the table. And they could really be running away with it. But at the same time, if we won today, the gap could be as small as 7 points. So it's all swings and roundabouts. And of course, if we beat Chelsea today, then we make that gap 0. Because every game, of course, is a 6-point swing. But I know I've stopped my Michael Owen impression, which a few of you seem to think I sound like Michael Owen. But hopefully, I don't talk like Michael Owen in terms of what I'm saying. But that's poor from Cater. He should have really bounced that one straight up to Balotelli. Potentially only having Balotelli as the only striker might harm us a bit. I do wonder that. That might be something to address at half-time. We're going to give the players a rollicking at half-time. I think that's only fair. We're going to bring Lallana off because he's not played too well in that position of attacking midfield. We're going to change to a 4-2-4, which we did use, to be fair, earlier on in the save. We're going to change it to a complete forward. I completely forgot about changing Balotelli to an advanced forward. And we're going to bring Oxlade-Chamberlain on in the place of, his name's escaped me, Shaqiri. Because at the end of the day, he has been quite poor as well today. So we're going to demand more from the players, see how they get on in this second half, and hopefully we can bring it back. We haven't played too badly if you look in terms of our tackles won, but in terms of pass completion, 60% is quite a poor pass completion. Of course, when compared to Chelsea at a much higher number, but that's a bit frustrating, getting a free kick conceded against us straight away, and this could be the goal here. Suso gets it, but our boy Alexander-Arnold puts it out, and I'm quite excited about, I haven't really spoke about this at length, but I'm quite excited about our youth prospects. Probably be sacked in 2 months, so we won't really get to see them. But I am very excited about our youth prospects because they only need a half a star or a star now, and they're going to be ready for first team football. Ben Woodburn, when he comes back off loan, will be in the first team. There's no question about that. And there could be quite a few feathers that are ruffled by those players. We're going to shut up about that now because Roberto Firmino, Bobby Firmino, after his injury, has come back. I'd said that it would be lovely for him to score last game, but it wasn't last game. He had to wait for today. A fantastic, unique corner from Balotelli out to Moreno. Moreno passes it to Firmino just outside the box. That's a lovely place goal. I presume it was just off the floor, and that is very tidy, and that makes it 1-1. Now we've got the momentum to come back and try and win this fixture. And as I've said, we've got the likes of Brewster, who obviously scored in the game against Palace. And we've got a few other brilliant youngsters, Curtis Jones, Ryan Brewster, Ben Woodburn, Harry Wilson. Expect them to be on the fringes of the first team next season. Gomez to Keita. Keita back out to Gomez. This is much more fluid, and our pass completion rate has already gone up, albeit by 2%, but each percent matters. Gnabry shoots, not quite the same fate as the Firmino goal, but albeit it was quite a tight angle. What amazes me is that West Ham are up there, have a particularly good start to the season, but apart from that, the table looks a lot more normal, I'd say, now to how it was last season. But Everton having quite a poor season again, it seems, possibly under Marco Silva. I'm not sure whether he's still there, but he won't be there much longer if it's like it is at the moment. But Everton are always a funny one. They're always a Mickey Mouse team. They're always one that they jump up and down, and you never know really what to expect of Everton. But we've got 15 minutes left here. Will Chelsea get the winner? I feel like a winner is coming from one team. I don't think this one is going to end in a draw. I just feel like that's the way it's going to go. And that's right, because Hazard has just got the second for Chelsea. That's gutting for us. We're going to bring Gnabry off and bring Trincao on and see what he can do. on the wing. And we're also going to put Balotelli to a target man. Let's try the target man thing with Balotelli. It's not going to hurt. And we'll make you automatic wing backs just to bolster up the squad a bit. At the end of the day, we're one behind now. I'd rather concede again and know that we've gone for it than sit back now. Because that just seems daft. I've jinxed us though there. And we've conceded again. Can we get the equaliser? Let's have a look. Firmino back to Arnold. It'll definitely help that we've got two strikers now. No question about it. A lovely ball into Trincao. Not quite yet. Keita! Very nearly Keita. Repeating what he did against Swansea with a fantastic ball into the net. But nearly 10 minutes to go here at Anfield. Can we beat Chelsea? That's the big, big question. Van Dijk apparently has played well, but Van Dijk playing well isn't going to help us out in terms of our attacking prowess, albeit that he's going to bolster the defence, but we've conceded more than we've scored, so that's not the best news for us today. Now, can Alexander-Arnold close out from Hazard? He's struggling, I think, today against the Belgium left winger, and Suso is playing very well as well. Suso shoots, Alisson gets it, good stuff. Now, will we have a counter, or will we at the end of the highlights? It will be the end of the highlights. 5 minutes to go. Can we get anything? I don't think it's going to happen now. I think it's just about over, and that's really just unfortunate. But can we get anything? We've got a minute left. I doubt anything's going to happen now, but you never know. Trincao, no, that's Christensen, and I think they'll just hold the ball up now. Yeah, into Sergei, Alisson gets it. Will we get a quick goal kick? It's a decent goal kick to Trincao. We could have another chance. Trincao, good ball, but a bit sloppy. It wasn't getting to Balotelli any day of the week there. And that will be it now. It was our last chance. It could have been a potential chance, but albeit, I don't really think anything would have come of it. But they're just trying to hold the ball up now, keep themselves in possession, which is absolutely fair enough to do. Firmino has a good tackle, tries well, but even Kurt Zuma's in the box now. And I'll tell you what, Kurt Zuma with a very near goal. That's very impressive from Kurt Zuma there. But we're going to lose today, which is really unfortunate. If you look at the stats, we've only lost 3 games this season, but because we've drawn 8 of our 18... then we're really in trouble. But if you have enjoyed that, make sure to leave a like, comment down below and subscribe. And I'm rubbish at this, but you'll just have to hear it again. End screen elements are up here and down there, and you'll get the 2 playlists on this side, Team Guides and Conquering the Euro, and also my channel, which you can subscribe to up there, and and your recommended video for you down there. That was possibly the worst end screen demonstration I have done so far. But if you enjoyed that, folks, make sure to leave a like, as I've just said. And we'll be back tomorrow for the 2 League Cup semi-final games against Newcastle, who we have been drawn against, to set up a potential repeat of the final last year against Tottenham. So if you're looking forward to that, make sure to subscribe to notify yourself when the video is out tomorrow. But apart from that, folks, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.